This is Dave Knoll from the Scriptorium, and this is the story of the Glastonbury Font and how it was created. Many years ago, too many years ago to count really, I attended a private school in Washington, D.C. that was part of the National Cathedral called St. Albans School, a school with great tradition celebrating its 100th anniversary this year. St. Albans is an Episcopal school with a lot of tradition based on the Episcopal Church and the sort of British public school tradition. One of those, of course, is out in front of the school. There's the Glastonbury thorn. What you see in this picture is a new tree grown from a cutting of the original, which supposedly was from a cutting of a tree that grew from the staff of Joseph of Arimathea when he landed in England in the Roman era. And it's from that tree that the font gets its name. Now, inside St. Albans, on the walls, there are beautiful stained glass windows, of course, but also many of the walls in the refectory of the dining hall include not only pictures of past classes, you may notice me there in the class of 77, but also listings of all the members of those classes painted in a beautiful calligraphic style which dates back almost to the beginning of the school. Well, over the years, the original calligrapher died, other people had to take over the job, and the quality of the calligraphy went downhill dramatically by the 1970s, 1980s. The initial calligraphy was very regular, very well done, and then it just degenerated. And recently, as part of the 100th anniversary observation, people at school had noticed the problem with this bad calligraphy and wanted to go back to having their calligraphy in the style that the original lettering was done in. And in order to do that, they decided that it being a modern era, it should be done by some higher tech method. And so I was contacted by a graphic artist who was working on the project to design a font based on the original lettering, and that would be used to do new lettering, to replace some of the old lettering that was defective, and to do future classes as well. And that's the genesis of the Glastonbury font. First thing I did, of course, was get lots and lots of photographs of the best of the calligraphy that we had to work with. And then I took it and did outlines of all the characters, initially by hand, and then eventually importing them into Photoshop for additional work and drawing outlines and filling in the characters. And then from Photoshop, I imported the scans into Fontographer, where I then manually traced the outlines of each character until I had a perfect outline that matched the original lettering. Then they were kerned and spaced and adjusted in Fontographer, and ultimately taken from Fontographer into Font Lab for hinting and final production and output. And the result is the Glastonbury font as it now exists for the 100th anniversary of St. Albans School, and it is now appearing on the walls of the school. They've already redone some of the problem years, and they've done the years starting with 2001 through the present year in the new font using a method of thermal transfer which looks almost exactly like the original gold leaf, except of course the characters are much more regular. And one of the great things about this, of course, is that St. Albans has allowed me to keep the rights to the font, and we've made it available as a font design, which is now available through our website. It's truly unique. It's a style of lettering which mixes elements of Fraktur lettering from Germany with classic Gothic calligraphy, but the result is something that doesn't look like anything you've really ever seen before unless you've been looking on the walls at St. Albans School. Every font has a story, and that's the story of how the Glastonbury font came to be. If you're more interested in more information on the font, come to our website at fontcraft.com. You can download a demo and give the font a try. Check out graphics of it and see some of our other fonts as well.